Are you teetering on the brink of burnout, dreading every Monday and wishing for Fridays only to have the weekends go by way too fast? Do you have a ton of ideas, but you talk yourself out of it before you ever even get them into action? Or are you pondering a job change, career change, or even starting your entrepreneurial journey, but have no idea where to start? I'm here to confess that I've been exactly where you are. Yep, I've experienced all of these. But I believe we have the power to make our lives look the way we want them to, that we can accomplish great things and don't have to work all hours of the day and night to do it. Hi there, friend, and welcome to the Design Your Happiness podcast, where we work to live, not live to work, and the financial gains and well-earned free time of the lives and careers or business we've designed have taken the place of those late work nights, stressful, all too short weekends, and feelings of just getting by. I'm Rebecca Hayes, a corporate girl who recently decided to branch into entrepreneurship because what I really enjoy is helping others define their own path. And for me, that comes at the intersection of the life you want, the career or business you enjoy, and the money to make it possible. And that's where Design Your Happiness comes in. So let's work together to reclaim your finances, reimagine your life and career or business, and redesign your happiness so you have the confidence, energy, and concrete strategies to build the life of your dreams. Are you in? Welcome to the first episode of Design Your Happiness. I'm so excited you're here. This is a topic that I'm so passionate about, and it's ultimately what drove me to create this podcast. Today, we're going to be diving into what happiness is and isn't, what I really mean when I say let's design your happiness, and a couple of steps you can take today that will have you on your way to living the life of your dreams. Are you ready? Let's get into it. I believe your happiness, whatever that means to you, exists at the intersection of the life you want, the career or business you enjoy, the mindset you have, and the money to make it all possible. So, yes, we cover a lot of ground here. Everything from the mindset you need to go after everything you want, to changing jobs, careers, or starting a business, to excel and create the impact you want, to the happiness-centric life deep down you know you deserve, to the money, whether that's earning, spending, or saving, that makes your wildest dreams come to life. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? Never. Is it worth it? Well, that's up to you to decide. But if you're ready to design your happiness by your own definition, I'm going to be here every step of the way because I already know it's possible. Whether it's small changes or massive leaps, if you really want it and are willing to put in the time, energy, and effort to get it, then there's nothing that can stop you. But let's take a step back for a minute because so many people stall or give up entirely simply because of their mindset, more so than their abilities, skills, or opportunities that they've had. Think about it. How many times have you had an idea, dream, desire, or ambition, and before you could see it through, you talked yourself out of it? It's happened to me a lot. And I thought it was time to put a stop to that for me and for you. And that's what led me to create Design Your Happiness. Now, I know there are a lot of people offering practical strategies to navigate your career path or manage your money, and we're definitely getting into that here. But the main reason I created Design Your Happiness was to design your happiness, to tie it all together, because your career or your money or any other aspect of your life doesn't exist in a vacuum. It doesn't stand alone, and decisions that you make in one area always affect other aspects of your life. I also wanted to focus on how to manage your mindset and swat back those inner gremlins so you can go after your wildest dreams and to pursue your greatest ambitions to give you the life, successful career or business, and financial freedom you really want. Basically, so you can live your life on your terms. Now, if you're thinking, great, but how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to start by diving into what we mean by happiness. I wrote a whole book on it, literally, because so many people were asking, how can I be happy? And I kept seeing so many superficial suggestions. Because while that was technically an answer to their question, that wasn't the question they were really asking. When so many of those people asked, how can I be happy? What they were really wanting to know was, how can I live a fulfilling life? How can I enjoy what I'm doing or where I'm at, or be content with what is happening in my life? How can I find my thing? How can I not spend all my time working and still have a successful career or business and enjoy a comfortable life? Talk about a loaded question. But it was true. It's what they and so many others really wanted to know. These are deep questions that I sum up pretty simply as happiness. And I cover this in my book called Finding Your Path: 5 Steps to Discover Your Unique Happiness. 5 Steps to Discover Your Unique Happiness. I'm including the link in the show notes if you're curious and want to learn more. Trust me, it goes into way more detail than I am here. But I will just say that for me, happiness is really two things: it's a mindset and a lifestyle. This makes it easier to understand both how we're mentally charged toward a given situation or circumstances, whether that's an idea, project, dream, desire, or goal, and how we take action or allow that same situation or circumstances, that idea, project, dream, desire, or goal, to physically manifest. Making that a little simpler, happiness is rooted in your mindset, and we experience it basically as our perception of our own experiences. It's how we feel about the things we've done or haven't done. Have you ever found yourself focusing on your missteps? And the more you stay in that mindset, the more negative you feel, sometimes so much so that you feel defeated, even. On the other hand, if you can let go of the missteps, choose to take the lesson, learn, and allow yourself to grow, those same missteps are mere blips on your radar, and they don't weigh heavy on our minds or distort our experiences. Being able to do that without sacrificing your emotions is what allows you to have even more experiences, even more happiness. It's the mindset and the lifestyle that go hand in hand. Now, that's not exactly how everyone thinks of happiness, but it's always made a lot of sense to me. And thinking about it like this makes it easier to see how you can design your own happiness. See, I have been so curious about happiness or growth or the human experience or whatever you want to call it, but I've been so curious about it since I was a teenager. Growing up in small towns in the Midwest, I wanted nothing more than to experience the world. Now, I didn't make it abroad until after my first year of college, but I've had so many experiences since then, both professionally and personally, that have been so eye opening. And they let me see that life could be lived differently, even if it took me a while to really learn that lesson. Of course, I started my career in the corporate world, as so many of us do, because I couldn't shake my corner office dreams. Eventually, though, after working my way through a lot of experiences and changes, I decided to branch into entrepreneurship. And if you want more details on my story, I'm including a link in the show notes so you can learn more about me. But for now, I want to talk about you. Specifically, I want to support you as you go after your biggest ambitions, even if they're just tiny glimmers right now, or they seem a little too far fetched. And as you're thinking about your happiness, I want you to create space for all the aspects of your life because pretty much everything is fair game when we're talking about designing your happiness. For example, are you looking to leave your current job, change careers, or start your own business? Are you ready to be completely confident in your financial decisions and set yourself up for that financial future you know you deserve? Or are you thinking about finally taking that vacation you've said you're going to take but never actually followed through? Maybe you're ready to try your hand in a new relationship, restore an old one, or reconnect with a friend. Whatever it is that feels like your next step, we're going to help you do it with your definition of happiness in mind. Because your happiness is unique to you. There's no one size fits all, there's no one path or straight line to happiness. Partly because happiness isn't a destination, a place that you can arrive and stay there forever, but also because what's ultimately going to have you experiencing and living in your happiness is going to be different from everyone else, and that's okay. So it's time to explore what happiness does mean to you and what is it going to look like in your life. Because the reality is, there are so many ways to create the life and the career or business or financial future you want. But the bottom line is to create it in the way that you want so that you enjoy living the life you created, successful career or business, and all. So let's talk about how we're going to design it. Designing your happiness is all about being intentional and choosy and creative and practical. Are you teetering on the brink of burnout, dreading every Monday and wishing for Fridays only to have the weekends go by way too fast? Do you have a ton of ideas, but you talk yourself out of it before you ever even get them into action? Or are you pondering a job change, career change, or even starting your entrepreneurial journey, but have no idea where to start? I'm here to confess that I've been exactly where you are. Yep, I've experienced all of these. But I believe we have the power to make our lives look the way we want them to, that we can accomplish great things and don't have to work all hours of the day and night to do it. We're going to get into the reasons behind what your dreams and desires are telling you you should absolutely do, and those thoughts that seem to hold you back. But we're not stopping there. I want to create space to talk about where you're putting your energy and the practical strategies that are going to help you bring your ambitions into reality. Because we want to be taking each step with that in mind. That's not to say what makes up your happiness can't change. In time, it likely will. But until it does, for the foreseeable future, let's consider if what we're thinking, feeling, and doing, whether that's a new job, beginning a relationship, taking a trip, moving to a new place, or starting a business, that those things fit into your vision for your happiness and it isn't creating more work for you, adding negativity or stress in your life, or just something you feel like you have to do. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that too many of us waste too much of our time on things we don't want for one of three reasons. We either aren't clear on our happiness, we don't think it can happen to us, or we feel obligated to do something else for whatever reason. So let's unpack each of those. First, so many of us aren't clear on what actually makes up our happiness. That can be because we've always been told certain things will make us happy, or because we're using someone else's version of happiness, or we just haven't stopped to ask ourselves what we really want. And because of that, we're just going through the motions, not quite sure what to do about it. On the other hand, some of us know exactly what would make up our happiness. Say it's leaving your 9 to 5 to do work that really makes an impact. But we question whether that's realistic or maybe it's just a pipe dream. We feel like we need to be practical, or maybe it feels like we're being selfish. And so we choose not to take the steps to pursue it because we're afraid or we don't feel like we deserve it. And then the last situation we sometimes find ourselves in is that we have this sense of obligation to do something for whatever reason. And you might not even know the reason why. But you feel like you're supposed to do it, so you keep doing it and getting further and further down that path. And you'll continue to do that until you finally look up and realize it's not where you want to be. And at this point, it almost doesn't matter which of these you align with. Our next step is simple. We want to explore what we really want in our life and then go out and make it happen. Because the truth is, we each only get so much time and energy. So, how do you want to spend yours? If it's pursuing your ambitions, growing your impact, and living a full and vibrant life, you're in the exact right place because that's exactly what we're doing here. So, before we close out today, I want to leave you with some action steps because we're not just here to talk, we're here to take action. So, take some time to explore what you think your definition of happiness is right now. What does it look like? How does it feel? What's in it? I'm so excited for you to take this journey, and I hope you'll stick around and stay tuned for everything that we have coming up. Until next time, keep designing your happiness. Hey there, friend! We've made it to the end of another Design Your Happiness episode. And if you're loving what you're hearing and you know someone else who would benefit from hearing it too, please share this episode with them. I can't tell you how much it would mean to me to support even more ambitious, aspiring entrepreneurs like yourself. So send them a text or a quick email with the link, and let's help even more people build the lives and businesses they've been dreaming about. All right, I'll see you next time. Until then, keep designing your happiness.